So she's here live and direct. So I want to read her profile out to us now so that we will see who is coming to talk to us. So that those people that are not here, they'll know that they have missed a lot. So Mrs. Adeyoyin Yetunde is a certified nutritionist. She's a fitness coach and she's a wellness coach. She has a strong commitment to promoting health and well-being. Is she not beautiful? Okay, so she's not coming here to give you formula that is not working for her. It's working for her. So as a dedicated professional, and she's a mother of two, celebrate her. She specializes in creating customized wellness plans for individuals and groups, emphasizing nutrition, exercise, and mental well-being. Okay, so our coaching approach is focused on empowering our clients to implement a sustainable lifestyle and changes that would help them to get enduring results. Dear blessed women in the house, I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, can we, with a standing ovation, celebrate and welcome our guest speaker today, Mrs. Adeyoyin Yetunde, as she comes to tell us how we can live a healthy lifestyle and have a very good, prosperous life. In Jesus' name, amen. You're welcome.
Good evening, everybody. I am very glad to be here. I don't know if I should still pray, but she took the prayers out of my mouth. I, I like that when I come to speak, we humans, we have this nature of when we hear it, we want to do it. Over time, it gets off. Begin to hear things like fat I fat and no key person. So I like that even if it's just one person, I want to like penetrate and let the person keep going. That is where I find fulfillment and I find enrichment. So she prayed, and I'm also going to just say a prayer that I pray that God helps us to. It's not easy, especially the world that we live in now. A lot of and another thing is anyway is misconception anyway, but it's not an easy one, but it's something that is doable. You know, when you get into it, it gets easier. And I am not here to talk about somebody else's story. I'm using myself as an example. You know, you say practice what you preach. This is who I am, and I'm going to be using my story. And I pray that my story changes one or few things about us and in us in Jesus' name. My name is Yetunde Adeyoyin, mother of two, a fitness like she already introduced me. My biggest flex, let me use that word. I am Yoruba, so if I have to chip in Yorubas, if you want me to, I don't mind. My biggest flex is to see women take control of their health, you know, women taking charge of their well-being. Because you will agree with me that in this world we live in right now, the load is more on women. We go through stages of puberty, adolescence, menstruation, we get married, we try to conceive, we give birth, there and then it just keeps going. And when we are not careful, we lose it. There are a lot of women out there that feel they've lost their sense of purpose. They feel they are left behind, probably because of children, because of the home. You know, this particular set of women have prioritized other people's needs and wants before theirs. And before you know it, they are in a place where they've lost their well-being, their mental self, their self, they are taking care of themselves generally. And in one way or the other, they just find themselves like clueless. And in this kind of world where we try to paint what it is like what it is not, we as women need to encourage ourselves. That is why meetings like this are very important. It's just to always, we know the truth, we know what to do. It's not, if I ask somebody now, every one of us knows that it is good to take vegetables and fruits. We know what to do. But sometimes, because of so much in the world, we just give way. So meetings like this helps us to remember to get back on track. And that is why we are here. For me personally, I have gotten back on track and I have gotten my life back. This is something that I would have maybe been on a medical journey that would have lasted all my whole life, and I wouldn't have able to be tagged mother of two today. This is what young people like me are going through with medical procedures and all of that. And I simply changed mine with living healthy and a very good lifestyle. It's as simple as that. Now, what is wellness? We can define wellness by, for me, is three things: practicing, being intentional, and then putting it in our everyday lives. I practice something good. I get used to it. It becomes a norm for me. And then I keep living on with it because I want to live well. We all want to, when you ask women, I want to live long to take care of my children. I don't want somebody else to come and help me take care of them. I want this one. I don't want my children to suffer. I want to be there when my kids are getting married. I want to stand for them. You know, we have friends, we have colleagues that their parents left them at an earlier age, and we know what they went through. So wellness is about being intentional. Like, this is what I should do. I am doing it, and this is who I am. Wellness now has several dimensions. We have emotional. Emotional deals with the way with our values, our beliefs, the way what we think about ourselves. When someone tells me you lack sense, you don't know what you are doing, you are stupid or something, and it depends on me to take it in. Like, I am not stupid. This is who I am. You know, emotional, respecting other people's beliefs, caring for others, respecting boundaries, people around us, you know. Emotionally, it just helps us to take control of our lives. So ordinarily, things that would have made us gone haywire, we are still on track. We are sane in the world of chaos and all of that. We have spiritual well-being. We are in church. We listen to the word constantly, consistently. It keeps reaffirming our faith in Christ. It keeps making us know that whatever we do in Christ. Our focus is heaven. This is what our aim is, and all of that. We have financial dimension, taking control of our finances. We have something in future to get at. We prioritize our needs before our wants. We prioritize the way we spend our money. We prioritize when we have something to do, a project, and we know we want to cut the way we spend, you know, as much as possible. We have the social dimensions, relationships. How well have we been able to sustain a particular relationship? How well have we been able to take, you know, there are some people that they can have friends in the morning, by evening, they've messed it up. She did something, she did that. How well have we been able to do this? How well have we been able to do well in relationships? One day we'll get married, we'll get friends, we are not an island. These are several dimensions. But there are very key three things. This class is going to be very interactive because all these things, wellness, goes round to all of us. But there are very three key things that helps in all these dimensions that I've mentioned them according to their importance. One is nutrition. You see the food we eat, the day we come to realize that food is not for pleasure, it's for healing, is that day that anything we put in our mouth that goes into our body, we will be careful of whatever we eat. And that is where our health lies. Now, when we see food, I'm a food lover. I love food. But when I'm going to take food, I would ask myself, what will this do in my body? Is it going to nurture? Or am I just, is it for the pleasure? Like, I'm going to take sausages or dogs. Is this for just the taste? At the end of the day, is it going to boost my pre-diabetes symptom? Is it going to boost some kind of glucose in me that is bad? Is it going to? So I'm not saying that I'm just going to be eating like an animal. I'm going to be eating only greens and vegetables and all of that. But even, and that's the world we live in right now. There are a lot of misconceptions out there. Carbohydrates, you hear a lot of diets. Keto, Indomie diet, and all of that. So we opt out. There's a thing they call balanced diet. It is balanced. It is not to opt out. That is why they call it balanced. So at the end of the day, when I'm eating, I need my carbs. If I don't eat my carbs, I cannot stand for long. I cannot hustle. I cannot put food on my table. I need my proteins. I need every part of that balanced diet. And then once I come to realize that my nutrition is important, what I put in my body is important, that is when we start. Do you know that there are some actual food that elevates your mood? For example, when you have issues with maybe your husband or a friend, there are some particular food that when you eat, you know some people eat emotionally. When they are down, that is when they eat all type of things. And then all those type of things, when you watch it, junks, it just makes that mood. The thing will just start keep giving you ideas of how bad and terrible that person is. There's some food that elevates you, makes you feel lighter, makes you feel like, it just gives you a sense of, like, it's free, like, this thing is not that hard. The world is not that, the world is not just around me. I am not supposed to be the one in this equation, all of that. There are some food like that. There are some food that releases stress. There are some food that helps with bloating. The food is just, nutrition is just all in all. Now, the second aspect that I'm going to also mention is exercise. Do you know that when you exercise and you have issues with someone, it happens to me a lot of time, and I'm angry working out. By the time I finish working out, I'm going back to call the person on the phone. Because if exercise releases some kind of hormones, they call it happy hormones. You just have this lightness, like, maybe she has something to say. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe, you see all these things, it's just psychological. It's there in our head. It just helps like that. Okay, so it just, it helps us to get this kind of thing that, okay, it elevates our mood. It helps us get in better shape. Now, in this world that we are in, that it's all about beauty and all of that. Okay, I don't know if you guys, we should be, I'm active on social network. There's this particular person, her name is Worry Pekin. So Worry Pekin had, one thing I like about her was her transparency. Now, if you watch her YouTube on her weight loss, she talked about how her being not healthy physically even went bad with her emotional, psychological. It affected her generally. You see all these dimensions I mentioned, it affected everything because she was not balanced. I like something about her. She came out to say she did surgery. Because we have a lot of people in this world right now that they do these surgeries and then you find them in the gym lifting weights, and they give these misconceptions that it is true weight loss, whereas so I like it. Now a lot of people tagged me that this is somebody that came out to say the truth. Why are you lying to us? In my mind, I said, so what do I tell people? That I went under the knife? I did not go under the knife to have kids. Why am I going to go under the knife to lose weight and get healthy when I know the two things I need is to be intentional and to be consistent? She said it. She said she lacked discipline. And there was nothing she could do. She had the money and she went for the surgery. Me, I have the discipline and I have every other thing. And then I feel it is sustainable this way for me. And you know, I also had medical issues. I don't know if we know what is called PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. So this shows, so when you go for a scan, you have so much cyst in you. Of course, if you have PCOS, you cannot have children. Blocks your chances of having children, and then it also affects your hormone. So what it does is, you know, we have two types of hormones, the male hormone and the female hormone. The male hormone is well decreased in us females because we would have children, we will breastfeed. But when you have PCOS, your male hormones are more, in fact, your female hormones is like 1%. So you start having birds. Yeah. Of course, your period won't be there. You know, you have husky voice. Your bloat is around more around your middle. You bloat a lot. So where someone is eating small and they're not adding weight, you had double. So it's like that. It is attached to your hormones, and of course you will not feel and move like somebody that should behave like. Regular medical checkup. I go regularly. You know, health, there's one thing about health. When you catch up a disease early, you quickly sort it out. Once it gets to a particular stage, it becomes chronic, it becomes serious, and then there's little or nothing else you can do. So it's very okay. All were very important. Like all were very, 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 very. Ó ṣe pàtàkì, ó ṣe kókó, ó ṣe kókó gidi gan. That I lọ regularly fún checkups. What our body is saying. In fact, our body is so beautiful that that's what I tell people. Your medical condition can't be this chronic that your body wouldn't have been sending some signals. It's as subtle as having a mild rash. You don't have it there before. And it's up. What's wrong? It's as subtle as headache, like consistently, it's coming up, it's on one side. Unexplained weight loss, unexplained weight gain. I'm not feeling my mood swing. Your mood is always going round and round. In one moment you're happy, in the next moment you're sad. So so it is important. So these are the three keys to eating these several types of this thing. And then, because now, the world we live in now, the emotional aspect is very high. Someone is always saying something. We are always going through a lot. Finances, our financial this thing is down. The country is not going on well. That is why it is even still important to eat right, exercise. I don't even mean that you should go to the gym and go and sign up for this thing. It's as little as taking a walk. is as little as maybe just taking care of what you would ordinarily have called a cleaner to come and do in your house. Let me clean up, let me sweat out. It's as simple as dancing, playing a music and just dancing in your comfort, in the comfort of your home. It's as simple as not taking the elevator, taking the stairs. It's as simple as not taking keke or car bus, or when we know that this distance so short, let's just walk it. You see, when the time you use in walking, even when you have so much in your head, your mental health, you are thinking, something is coming to your head, you are thinking it away. It's just going with the breeze. There's a lot of it that comes with it. Now, another thing is that I would also like to say that, you see, this PCOS thing, it also affects. So when you see women that don't have children, we tend to tell them that, they are the most wicked. Like, you don't have a child and you are this wicked. It is not their fault. It's hormones. It messes you up with time. Sometimes you just want to. That's why you have to be healthy. I'm not saying you should go and start eating grass. So, like, I'm still saying it because what people have, the notion they have right now, the misconception is just everywhere. You have to die. When people see me before and they see me now, the first thing they ask is, so you don't eat? What do you do? I eat. So it's a lifestyle. It's something you should sustain for the rest of your life. How will I not eat? So that's why when you diet, it's like you are yo-yoing. You're in saying, you are slim today, you are fat tomorrow. Àti ṣetán, oya àtúnpadà. And for women, that thing is very bad for our hormones. When you don't stay in a place, you are going and going. Everything that happens now is in future we will know the results. Anything you do now, health is like investment. You keep putting into it, keep putting. By the time you are older, your mates are like, you are still, and they are asking you, although genes play a very good role. Some people, they have those good genes. But we are still not going to, but we are not still going to now say on the, because you see some people, they are very fat, and then they will tell you, in our house, we are very fat, we have big bone. You have big bone, and you are looking one. No, it doesn't. No, everybody is not going to be slim. We're not going to be like Miss Nigeria. But you should have that fitness level. You should have, and I'm not even talking about BMI, like divide the weight from all of that. I'm not talking about that. BMI is a total mess because it doesn't put into consideration your height. It doesn't put into consideration your bone density, and it doesn't put into consideration your fat density. So it is a mess. You will see somebody as slim as this my auntie here, and the BMI will say obese. How is she obese? And another thing I want to mention is that somebody is slim doesn't mean that they are okay. And also too, if you are fat, you are not okay too. So you are slim doesn't mean that you are okay. I have a lot of people. Okay, so I don't know if she's here. My neighbor is here. Anytime I'm walking out, everybody's like, wow, are you on steroid? Are you on something? But if you see somebody slim, they will tell you, if I do this thing, I will just faint. So it's not about, I'm not even saying people should have so much energy, but mine is just that, just be in a fit state. There are a lot of illnesses, there are a lot of things that when you are fit, it comes out faster. It comes out faster. When I was trying to manage myself with a lot, I had multiple cysts. When the cyst gets to a particular point and you keep getting big, you are reckless about it, it gets to operating, you have to remove some cysts, and then sometimes it gets cancerous. when I was doing all of this, do you know that some of these cysts actually went hanging into my fallopian tube? So what does that mean? They will say I have ectopic pregnancy. It is not ectopic, it is a cyst. And so because I was, I changed my lifestyle, I was losing weight, my fat density was coming very low, I was losing a lot, it practically opened up like, this is what is inside here, get it out. It quickly showed the symptoms. So this is something that medically they would say is not even supposed to come out right now. It's later on in life that this thing is supposed to come out. So I told them, I said, I already have 2 kids I want to. If you have to take off my tube, please take it off. After all, I still have 1 more. So if I still want to have another in the future, it will be okay, because I don't want anything hiding anywhere. So they were like, no, now that you are doing it, I said, mm-mm. I also helped myself in young people like me. You know, when you have kids, they would say, Omani, what do they call family planning? And do you know that family planning, all these family planning methods right now are hormonal? Majority of it. I think the only one that is not hormonal is the IUD. The rest, they are hormonal. And I'm sure because we are here where we are now, we have a lot of side effects on this. Okay, ordinarily, naturally, I shouldn't even do family planning because of my medical history. But because I took my lifestyle seriously, I changed it. I did not have to. What I just did was, this is me that for 1.5 years, as a young girl, even before I got married, I did not see period. I am supposed to be a woman seeing my period. Now that I have kids, I spaced my both kids because I wanted them spaced 4 years. I just had my regular cycle 28 days. It never misses. And I did my safe and unsafe period. And that is my own family plan. It never misses, and it never. So I've also been able to. So in Kotimo, so in Kotok Way, Tony family planning, please. Mm-hmm. Mm.
ṣùgbọ́n ṣáájú kí ẹyin tó sọ̀kalẹ̀ àti ní àsìkò tí ẹyin máa sọ̀kalẹ̀ àti ọjọ́ díẹ̀ lẹ́yìn tí ẹyin sọ̀kalẹ̀ tí ènìyàn bá ti súnmọ́ ọkùnrin nǹkan oṣù máa dé lẹ́yìn ìgbà tó nǹkan oṣù bá dé yẹn síwájú sí díẹ̀ ènìyàn lè súnmọ́ ọkọ ẹ̀.
So also having a very healthy lifestyle, changing my lifestyle generally, has also helped me in solving that aspect, that I wouldn't have to go through family planning. So you see, wellness, health, nutrition, exercise, regular, it's just, it just helps it touches everywhere. That is all what we need. It just helps what our mates, what our colleagues will be struggling on. Because we have changed our lifestyle totally, we are able to. This PCOS too, I would like to say that it is attached to diabetics, it is attached to anything insulin level, and all of that, male hormones, and all of that. And it is hereditary. It is just few people that get it through unhealthy lifestyle and carelessness. But majority of it is from the family. somebody has it. And then you see some people in the family that all their lives they did not have kids till they died. And it continues. My mom had this thing of no ago because most of her kidney surgeries and liver surgeries were as a result of misused drugs, herbs, and all of that. So anytime we're even going on holidays, she would tell my cousins that, please, oh, if you people are sharing a go, count these two out. Me, if I go turn one, ejo, esha fi won le. So I'm always this person that I want to. But unfortunately, she didn't stay long to tell me that we have something in the family. Oh. She didn't stay long to put me on the way of, this girl is beginning to get. So when you see young girls, tẹ́ bá rí àwọn ọmọ kékeré ń sin àwọn ọmọ wa or kíní kan, tẹ́ bá ti rí pé some way somehow wọ́n kọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sanra. Kò ń ṣe pé bóyá oúnjẹ tí wọ́n jẹ is different from what they eat before. Kò ń ṣe pé bóyá, because sometimes when life gets better, we eat larger. Nǹkan tó yìn ṣẹlẹ̀ náà ló yìn ṣẹlẹ̀. Kò ń ṣe pé, so you just start seeing changes. Ó ń sanra sí, gbogbo ikùn tí ń tóbi, gbogbo kíní kan. We start getting this symptom, this signal that we need to take care of this child. So we parents have a lot of work. Àwa òbí a ní iṣẹ́ púpọ̀ láti ṣe. Kò kàn ṣe pé ká kọ̀ bímọ, ká fi gbàdúrà káwọn ọmọ kú mọ́ wa lójú. So since we are alive, we need to help ourselves and we need to help our children. All of this still boils down to our total well-being. So I had this, I didn't know. I started my period like a young child would, a young girl would start their period, and it started and my mom died. She died when I was like 14 or 13. And I didn't know this thing. I just realized that I started getting big. Nobody, I had to start staying with my uncle that was a pastor. And you know, when I was going to school, back then in university, they would buy sanitary towels, pad for me when I'm going, that will last me all through stay in school. And because I knew how it is impossible to explain to a pastor why you have not used one pad, one single one, I became a Mother Christmas of pad distributor in school. Yesterday, please, do you have, I have pad, please come and take. But nobody cared to ask me, why you not use, is one of your family working in where they produce always, or what's the matter? But, you know, I just felt it was. But one day, when the weight was so much and it began to bother me, I didn't tell anybody. I just took myself to the hospital. It was a private hospital. So my story is just to ginger us that whatever we have, ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ká bẹ̀rẹ̀, kò tí late, tá bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ lénìí, kò tí late. So I went to a private hospital. I know a private hospital is one doctor fits all. But now, at least the doctor will refer you to a specialist. So I went to the doctor. Unfortunately, the private hospital is not one that will refer you to anything. The guy just told me that, okay, there's no problem. I'll give you some drugs. I know those drugs, they are always in nylon. They will not put the name of the drug. So the guy gave me the pill. The pill is plenty. Tiny pills like this, and I took it. But because I know that I couldn't ask him, I wasn't bold enough to ask him that, what is the name of what I give him? But he told me I will see my period. I told him it's been over a year that I saw my period. That was my complaint. And he said I should start using it. I should use one every day till it finishes. So you can imagine what I use once every daily, how plenty the thing will be. I say, when it's not like I have typhoid or this, is it this bad? So on my way, I branched at the pharmacy. And I waited for people to finish buying drugs. And I gave the man, see you. He said, what happened? I said, they gave me in the hospital that I should be using. He said, what did you go and tell them? I said, I have not seen my period for more than, guys, and they gave you this. He said, go and flush it down the toilet too. And go to a general hospital and go and see a gynecologist. He said, because what they gave you is wọ́n ní kí náà ń pe contraceptive. You use it every morning. Contraceptives. Said, and the way I'm looking at you, you are very young. So that when you get married, you won't start looking for what is not lost. Go and see a. So I did according to what he told me. And I went to a general hospital. General hospital, the color and everything. I shall stayed on it, collected card. Want to see the gynecologist. An old man with so much white hair on his hair. I was thinking, I've seen a carer, I've seen Suko, and this thing. The guy, he did not spare me. Immediately I entered his office. The guy, wow, it was not sound like a siren. This tie, only you. Oga, why are you looking at my tie? You are so fat. All these medical people, they need to do better. They can bring down your morale. It's not an easy something. He said, this fat, as young as I was, you don't even know. Something that I sat down and brought myself to you. They did not push me from home. Said, oh yeah, come and stand on this scale. Me, I look at the scale. Lo and behold, the scale is all those local scale that they did not pass 100 kg. Me, I knew I was weighing more than 100 kg. I was looking at the man, I was looking at the scale. This man is looking for trouble. I'm going to, this place will not contain us. Say, come and climb on it. I wanted to explain to him. I climbed on it. My dear sister, I broke the scale. I comfortably broke it. And the thing broke, I still stood on it. Like, maybe you see what you have cost. You already said, I'm sure, as you're looking at me, can't you detect some way, somehow that this person should be more than, or why are you making me feel this type of way? I don't understand. The guy said, you broke the scale. Hospital's property, my brother. Maybe they did it for patients. And it's a patient that spoiled it. The guy said, you are not finished though. You will go to the next ward. You go and meet a nurse there. The worst people again is the nurse. From a doctor to a nurse. You will go to the next ward, you go and meet the nurse and tell her that you want to use the industrial scale. The one that will measure your height and your weight. I said on top of, you don't even ask me. So when he gave me the note to go and meet the nurse, I came out of the office. I told myself, should I just be going home? Nobody would call me back. But I looked at it that at the end of the day, for my good, if they like the nurse to abuse me, once I step out of here, they cannot see me outside and talk to me anyhow. And then I said, no, I said, enter. No, I expected it. That one, first of all, looked at me. Me too, I was looking at her with my big eyes. What? I said, I gave her. She said, oh yeah, climb. I just climbed like this. He said, ha ha ha. I think it was not much now. I've not even said the kg. You were shouting. If I now say it, the thing was not much. It was just 145 kg. Is more Odu Apollo trailer ni. The woman said, oh God, oh, hey. She wrote it down and she gave me. Oh yeah. Go. Thank you, ma. And I went back. When I gave the man looked at it, he stopped it and said, oh yeah, tell me why you came to see me. And then I told him, I said, I've not seen my period. He did not even allow me to land again. He said, you cannot see the period. What does it want to pass? What does period used to pass? The man, I said, hey. At that time, my eyes were red, but I didn't want to show weakness. The man now said, you know what? I'm not going to give you anything. I'm Not, you don't need any pills, you don't need anything. What you will do is change your lifestyle. So I'm here to tell you that there is no medical solution. Even if I have clients that are dealing with cancer, at the end of the day, with all their chemotherapy and everything, they will still tell them to go back to the Hallelujah diet. My sisters, the Hallelujah diet is filled with balanced. So what are we now talking about? So the man said, "Sure, you see the first, you see that one for something. The first 20, go and remove it first. You are sending me how to go and remove 20 kg. Do you know what 20 kg is? Me, a novice. Where do I start from?" He said, "When you remove it, you will now come back. I will now give you the drugs to use." I said, "Okay, sir. Thank you, sir." He said, "There's no problem. Just try." I said, "Okay." When I went out, I got home, I took it in, it sank in and all. And then Google is a very wrong place to ask questions. I'm very sorry. I Googled my life out. Like, my life depended on it. I did not see anything. Everything I was just seeing was diet, one thing diet, one Mediterranean diet, one Caucasian diet or the other. And that was where I kickstarted. I said, I'm going to go and study nutrition and wellness. I need to take care of myself. I don't have a mother again. No one cares. So as young as I was, I'm just grateful because I didn't know where that push came from. Maybe I just wanted to be better. Maybe I just wanted to feel like I should feel. I don't know. And then I started. Even at that, I don't know if there are. I don't know if there are places now. When you have water trickle down your. I felt that kind of sensation, and I didn't know what it was because I was wearing black. So let me just go to the bathroom and see that what is this sweat? I'm just walking. I'm not supposed to be sweating this much. And when I got, when you touch blood and you at your palms, you will see that it is blood. And that was what I saw. And I felt like somebody that has not seen a positive, that has been trying to conceive, and I've never seen a positive on their test stick, and they are seeing it for the first time. I cried. It was like I got a positive. I cried so much. I said, "So this is what I needed. This is what he was trying to tell me. I didn't have to use anything." And you see this PCOS thing, when you go to the doctor, they recommend mostly metformin. Metformin is also a drug for people that have, I want only ogun, sugar, àìsàn sugar. Ṣebí diabetes is àìsàn sugar. Àìsàn sugar, metformin, normal fún wọn. So that's to tell you that it is one way or the other linked. So it brings down the glucose level and all of that. And when I saw it, I couldn't even walk out anymore. I just went home that day. And I said, this is where the solution lies. And I'm going to stick with it. And that was when I just did, and I continued. So fast forward to when I met my husband and I was going to get married. It was just right for me to tell him that this is the issue I have. We might try to conceive, we might not have children, but this is what it is. So if you are not okay with it, maybe we should just go our separate ways. And he said, no problem, that the main is about us. Every other thing can follow. I said that doesn't mean that we cannot pray to God, but trust me, people that, when we want to be real, people that went left this world without children, it's not like they did not pray to God. They still did not have kids, but probably they adopted, but they did not have their own biological kids. And who is to blame God? He does whatever he wants. So he said, okay, got married. I think it was the month that we got married that I got pregnant. I did not know that I was pregnant. All my mind was, we will try. And my mind wasn't, but I knew I missed periods, and then I started feeling some pains shooting towards my right leg and constantly, and it was so consistent. And every time I go to work, I'm always feeling it. And I just said, let me go to the hospital and run some checks. Because at that point, as I was losing weight, I was always going to scan for cyst. Do you know that the cyst dropped one after the other? It's like you're starving the disease inside of you. So at every point I went to check for cyst. The multiple cysts, it's about 10, about 8, okay, it's about 4. Until the sonographer told me that you've been coming regularly and the thing has been dropping. Are you on a particular drug or something? This Union Diagnostics at and I told him that this is my problem and this is what I'm doing. I wish people we keep telling people about this, but they don't care. So we just keep giving them drugs. Said, please keep it up. And we got to the stage where I had no cyst. So I just realized that this is what helped me, and it helped my health issue. So kò sí nǹkan kan tó wà lára wa, àìsàn tó wà lára wa, tó jẹ́ pé nǹkan tá máa fi sínú ara wa by nǹkan tá ń jẹ tí ò lè wòsàn. Tá bá fi lè mọ̀ wípé nǹkan tó yẹ ká jẹ rèé, nǹkan tí ò yẹ ká jẹ rèé. Even àwọn àtàdàgbà gan, we walk, we take walks. A máa rìn díẹ̀, a máa sweat out díẹ̀. Ó ní nǹkan tó ń pè ní metabolism, mi mọ̀ nǹkan tó ń pè ní Yorùbá, but bí engine ni, ó ní láti máa ṣiṣẹ́. Tí ò bá ti ṣiṣẹ́ or tó slow, gbogbo nǹkan tó yẹ kó wà nínú ara ló lè wọnú ara easily. Oúnjẹ tá máa jẹ tó yẹ kó digest easily, tó yẹ kó lọ síbi tó lọ, kò ní lọ. Gbogbo á wá di àìsàn, á di sugar, á di ọ̀rá, á di gbogbo ẹ̀ sínú ara, á wá jókòó tì wá. Bá ṣe jókòó yẹn náà ló ṣe máa jókòó. But tá bá ń ṣe gbogbo kíní, tá ń lọ, tá ń ṣe gbogbo kíní, tá ń ṣe, a máa rí pé gbogbo ẹ̀ ó ń lọ. So at the end of the day, I took in and I had my child. In fact, when I had my first child, I was told that I couldn't do family planning because of my medical history, and I was given that format of safe and unsafe period. And I was able to space my kids for 4 years before I had it. When I was going to have the other one, the month that I became reckless was the month that I took in. And this is something that, so even when I go for medical appointments to see my gynecologist, to just do medical checkup, he's always saying that, hey, yeah, come. See, PCOS, she has PCOS. And people look at me that, and your tummy is this small. Are you sure? Or I'm like, my sister, I'm not sure. Because people, they don't like to hear the truth. I'm like, myself, I'm not sure, but I know I don't have it again. So at the end, it's just about, and then, when I had my second child, the weight came back while pregnant. So I have some pictures of me. I don't know if they can project right now. The weight came back. That one now hit 155. And that was why I said you see these medical people, they need to, okay, this was me, the initial me, This was before I got married. This was okay. So skip it. Was this was what I went to before I got married. So my husband met me like that. Yes. So please, the next one. Okay, so that was me. This was a recent person. Oh. This one is very, very recent. So this was 3 years ago. Yes. Weight came back. This was 155. And because I do exclusive for my kids, and when I went to the hospital for my doctor's visit, 6 months, the nurse was going to make me enter the lagoon on Third Mainland Bridge because she saw me and shouted, "What is she eating? What is?" And I was hearing it so much. And this is me that I knew why I was like this. This is me coaching a lot of people. But what has ways that it gets to you, even when you are the strongest of. That's why sometimes we need to be very careful. It's still part of this emotional wellness. We need to brace up, like control our feelings. There are some things that when people say, you just hush it out. If not, it gets to you so bad. You need to, as in, be deaf, be deaf. She said it. This is for somebody that I know I had this issue. I know I'm going to get back to it. But those words were not okay. She said, if I were this person, I would have. And right from Lagoon back to the mainland here, that Third Mainland water, I was looking at it from afar. It was that bad. And that's what they call post-depression. I was looking at it and like, so why is it? In fact, when I coach people online on my phone, I make sure my phone gets here. And a lot of them didn't know that I was battling that, but I kept coaching. And then when I came home, I told myself, and I carried my son, I said, it's time for mommy to get back. That you had to start eating. And he heard, because he just started eating up food. And I went back. When I was going to go back, this one was very personal, because I don't know, something you think you had overcome. And then I have to get back to it because I have children. As women, we just go through a lot of things that just changes us, gets off us. So the first time I was going to carry up something to do about this weight, I still bought a full ice cream, Cold Stone, sat on my stairs, finished it. When I was drinking it, I was crying. I made sure that the tears were falling into the ice cream, and I was drinking the tears with the ice cream. And when I finished, I charged it, and I started. And this is where I am right now. So, yeah, thank you. So, at the end of the day, I was able to do that. And, a lot of people, and thankfully, that time was when COVID was just coming off and everything. I think it was that time that there was some of lockdown, but I was just doing my thing in the house. And then I came at it. And when I had my son and all of that, immediately I had him because of this weight, because the cyst somehow came back, and then I was losing it back. One of them found their ways into my tube. And then just earlier this year, I had to get my tube off because I felt if this is what is going to hold me down on this, please just take it off. And that was how it is. So in all of this, in fact, I was telling somebody that I need to go back to see the gynecologist. But I've not had time. I don't even know, maybe he's still alive till now. But I just knew that it was for me to change my lifestyle. So I'm just here to say generally, there is nothing, nutrition, exercise, and regular checkup. These three things are the key for us to change, to get our wellness, our well-being back on track. We don't need, yes, we pray to God, but we really need to take care of ourselves. Living healthy is not expensive. I'm not telling us to go and start buying vegetable, be broccoli, asparagus, that before you see this thing. Ordinary ẹ̀fọ́ tẹ̀tẹ̀, ẹ̀fọ́ green, ẹ̀fọ́ ṣọkọ, ordinary potatoes wa tá à ń jẹ. Even ọ̀fadà, need the international rice, ó ti wọ́n. Àti ìlú, ẹ sọ pé kọ́ send ẹ̀. Ọ̀fadà, when we make our own kind of, you see, put oil, use oil, it's just that it's excess, so everything is excess is bad. Oil has what it does in the body. Àṣejù ni olive oil. I tell people, olive oil. That time when keto came out, people spent bastard on keto this thing. Their butter, keto cauliflower, keto this one. They will now be having headache. Like, what is the matter? On top say this thing. And when they leave themselves, something that you cannot maintain. When the day you stop doing that thing, the weight will come back. Now it gets tougher. And then I also want to remind us that ṣé wọn pé bá ṣe ń dàgbà sí ló ń le sí. Bá ṣe ń dàgbà sí. Torí ẹ̀ lẹ máa rí ọmọ kékeré tó bá ṣèṣe. Ibi tó ti ṣèṣe yẹn, ó máa tètè sàn. Àgbàlagbà tó bá ṣèṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, kíkó tó sàn, ìgbà míì gan kò tiẹ̀ ní sàn. Wọ́n á ní egungun yẹn ti ṣe kíní, ó ti dàgbà, ó ti ṣe kíní. But eléyìí tá a ṣe sẹ́yìn ló máa gbé wa dúró ní ọjọ́ iwájú, ló máa bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé à ń fi owó sí bank, à ń fowó sí bank. Owó yẹn wá ń pọ̀, òun la máa fi sí iwájú wa. So at the end of the day, when we start neglecting these things and start throwing it back, we will still meet it in the front. We will still meet it. It will still come back facing us, like in Kotofe, and then it gets tougher. This PCOS, for an example, there's a particular stage you get to. You know me, I was way younger, and I quickly tackled mine. I have people on it that are my age mate that they are still trying to conceive on PCOS. And this thing is the likability of them having this thing is zero. Probability of getting it is just because at the younger time when the body still has a little bit of extended female hormones that they would have helped it and everything. Now they are now tackling it. Now the options are IVF, surrogacy, one thing or the other. And then they keep asking me, how did you do it? So it's better that we just start it before these things become serious. And the best thing we can give ourselves as women is to take care of ourselves, really. Because at the end of the day, you see all these children safe. Is when we take care of ourselves that we are able to take care of them. Like the food I eat now, everybody in the house eats it. My children, because I know, especially my daughter, because I know what I went through, I don't want her to go through it. I don't want to get to a stage where I'll start telling her that this one, we have this thing. What I just make sure is that one wani or no, see, LD, I just make them get used to that path. We have friends that when we go out, they will tell you, we're not used to this in our house. We don't eat this. This is what we eat. It's because that is the way they are being trained. And that is how I put my kids, especially my daughter, because I know this is what I have and this is how I want it to go. And so when we even go out or something, I stand, this is what she eats, this is what she doesn't, okay, this is what she likes, this is what her taste bud is used to. So this is what she can have. So generally, at this point, as I'm talking, like you're listening to me now, I know I'm stirring some kind of thoughts in some type of way in you. I want you to let that thought keep going. Your food, what you eat, any kind of meal we make, as ordinary as ginger and garlic, people, tiger nuts, ofio. Àwọn èèyàn tó máa ń mú àgàgà àwọn Haúsá wọ́n ní aphrodisiac ni. I don't know that in Yoruba. Táwọn wọ́n fi ń ṣe nìyẹn. Bó ṣe rí òfìò yẹn tẹ́ bá lọ sí Luz ní cancer kìíní wọn. Òun náà fi ń pa. Okay, so maybe when I say the English, it will come. So when they are going through, chemo is, you are taking the bad and the good to kill this thing. And that's why there's loss of hair, loss of a lot of things. So they put them strictly on carrot and tiger nuts to bring down that bad effects of chemo very well. when they are on chemo. And when they take this like back to back, it helps. Some might not even lose their hair. So some people will say is this thing. Hello, ni one ta feel. Ó ti wọ́n, but ó ti wọ́n, but kò wọ́n tó. How do I want to say it? Ó ti wọ́n, but it's still one of the cheapest. Like it's still one of the healthy, cheap things that you can see around. Lè fi òwe apple now. Tá bá sọ pé ó fi òun apple wà ńkọ́. So òfìò tó jẹ́ pé tẹ máa mú tẹ bá ti rà tẹ ti ṣàn ẹ ti ń jẹ mi ò sọ òfìò tó ti sóòkì o ẹ mọ̀ pé àwọn kan máa ń yẹ́lò báyìí tọ́mátì so tòmátì wọ́n sóòkì ẹ̀ ní o. It's the dry one that they soak to become big. So no, it's part of
What I'm saying is that she has so many things to share with us. And I know that from everything she has said, there are a lot of questions that are going through her mind. Am I right? And we want to ask some questions so that we can maximize the time and maximize the knowledge too, so that she can help us specifically in some areas. Pastor Faye, please. So, Madam, okay, so what you do for me now is that you have your seat and you'll be answering the questions from your seat so that Pastor Faye can anchor the second session. So you will hold the mic with you.
Praise the Lord. So Mama mix Yoruba to English. Since the more good going in Yoruba. Help me now, come on. Thank you so much, Ma'am. God bless you. Okay, so you can keep rolling the pictures. Elema. Oh yeah. Wow. Okay, Majo Konsin. Thank you so much, Ma. I mean, that was amazing. Can you just clap your hands together one more time? So she's touched on a couple of things. I mean, emotional health, physical as well, well-being, having your check, your check, health check, exercising, also your nutrition. So I'm sure that while she was speaking, a lot of us had questions. So right now, wanna ask questions. Maybe peradventure you have some of those symptoms, or you are struggling with maybe wellness, maybe trying to lose weight, or it might not even be losing weight. What are some of the questions? So if you can just raise your hand. No, it's okay. I'll take one, okay. So one, my free number, job. A 6 number in here. Number 1, number 2, number 3. I'm going to call no one beanie. Number 4. And you tell about any question, share. Okay, she gone. My wife for second round. Number 1.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, I want on going to toilets. Okay, so when you are having those symptoms, did they affect you of you not regularly going to toilets? Like, so now if somebody is not going to toilet for like a week or 3 days or 4 days, so what can they to
Okay,
make
did that just
you
has
go
that
to
been
toilets?
occurring, or was it just something starting, or
It's been reoccurring.
it's been reoccurring? And does the person have any kind of underlying illness? No, not really, but there's really. No, so there should be something, there should be would I say antecedent? There should be a premise before a conclusion. So something like, has there been a medical issue? Or is the person undergoing some kind of illnesses? What came about? The person was not born with it now. So at what stage did it start? man or the person, woman. Okay, is as the person. No, I know. As the person, does the person have kids already? The person is without child. Is the person obese? The person is of normal weight. What's the person eating like? Is it more of carbs or what? What's the eating routine like? No, Nigeria. Who told you Nigeria food is not? Is it more of carbs? Okay, so if this is just a general thing that they are not, I'd want to believe that if there is any underlying something, you would say it. But if it's just as subtle as you are saying it, then the person should change their diet. So it should be the plate, the balanced diet. It should be more of protein, veggies than carbs. Mm. Has the person gone for medical checkup? Wait, has the person got for a medical checkup? So see, the thing is, if the sorry, if the person, okay, for me, of course, you have, uh, of course, in fact, naturally, exercises heals constipation and all of that. After you exercise, finish. So, in fact, some people, as they are exercising, they are already pressed because you are engaging your body, all the nerves in your body. So, the next thing is any toxin or anything, just the same way when you exercise, you sweat out a lot. That's what happens. So, if that person does that or whatever, and then the person should go for a medical checkup, just a thorough check, thorough check through for them to see if there's anything. And the earlier the person goes, because not going to the toilet frequently is not a good one. So the earlier the person goes, the better. So when the person goes and then they feel that there's nothing wrong or something, then the person should face whatever they put in their body and whatever activity they do.